It was a dare, simple as that. You know how it goes. Friends egging each other on, one of those nights where the world feels like it's on pause, and nothing seems too risky. We were looking for thrills, not really thinking about the consequences. The old building on the edge of town had always been the talk of local legends. Everyone knew it was abandoned. Everyone knew it was dangerous, but no one knew what actually happened there. That's why we had to check it out. That's why we stood at the rotting front doors of the place at midnight, laughing nervously as the chill of the night air nipped at our skin. "Stop being such a wimp, Carter," Noah said, pushing me forward. I'd barely stepped inside when I felt it, the sudden change in the air. The silence. The heavy kind, like the world was holding its breath. My eyes adjusted to the dim light of the flashlights as we wandered deeper into the building. The floors creaked with every step, and the air smelled of decay and dust. Still, we laughed it off, taking photos, daring each other to go deeper into the building. The further we went, the darker it became. The walls were lined with peeling wallpaper, the kind you could almost hear crying if you listened close enough. And then, there was something else. A sound. Low. Soft. Almost like a whisper, but no one said anything. Not at first. We reached the staircase. The wooden steps groaned under our weight, but none of us thought twice. None of us until we heard it again. The whisper. "Did you hear that?" Emily asked, her voice a little shakier than I remembered. I looked at the others. They all seemed unsettled now. We paused, listening to the building, but the whispering had stopped. "Probably just the wind," Noah shrugged, but his face didn't look sure. We pressed on. The deeper we went into the building, the more we felt it. Like the place was watching us. The air was thick with the scent of mold and decay, and the silence that surrounded us felt suffocating. I started to wonder why we'd ever thought this would be fun. It started with the shadows. They were not normal. They didn't match up to the way we moved, like they were a few seconds behind. At first, I thought it was just my mind playing tricks. But then Emily screamed. We turned to her. She was staring at something on the far wall, her flashlight shaking in her hand. "What is it?" I asked, but she couldn't speak. She just pointed. There, in the corner of the room, there was a door that had like been hidden behind some like old furniture, and it wasn't there before. It looked newer, out of place in a building like this. I felt a chill run down my spine. "No way, we're not going in there," I said, but my voice barely came out. It didn't sound like me. Noah pushed me aside. "It's probably just another storage room. Come on, they'll be fine." But it wasn't fine. The door creaked open, revealing a narrow staircase that spiraled downward. Something was down there. Something ancient. Something forgotten. My heart was pounding in my chest now, and the whispers came back. This time, they weren't in our heads. "Do you hear that?" I whispered, backing away from the door. Emily was shaking. "We need to leave, now." But Noah, as always, was determined to prove something. "You're just scared. Let's go, it'll be cool. It's just a cellar or whatever." He was already descending. I wanted to stop him, but I couldn't speak, and I couldn't leave either. We followed him. The stairs seemed to stretch on forever. It was colder down there. Unnaturally cold. My breath fogged in the air. And when we reached the bottom, there was nothing. Only darkness. Then the door slammed shut. The light from our flashlights flickered, and in that instant I knew it wasn't just the building that was broken. It was us. Something wasn't right. The air shifted, and we weren't alone. We ran. I don't remember exactly what happened next. It was all a blur. The floorboards felt like they were closing in on us. I heard Noah yelling, but it wasn't him anymore. His voice was distorted, like something else was using it. Emily was crying, calling for him, but it was no use. We were separated, lost in the labyrinth of this cursed place. And then I heard her scream, a horrible, guttural sound. I spun around, but she was gone. I was alone. The whispers were louder now. The walls seemed to close in, and I could feel something moving behind me just out of sight. I tried to move faster, but my legs wouldn't obey. My heart was pounding so hard it felt like it would explode. When I reached the stairs, I nearly collapsed from exhaustion. The door was open again, just a crack, and I stumbled through it back into the hallway. But where was Noah? Where was Emily? I called their names, but the building swallowed my voice. The shadows danced around me, mocking my desperation. I finally made it out. Just me. I was breathing heavily, my mind spinning, but I was outside. The cold air hit me like a slap, and for a moment I thought it was over. I'd made it out. I'd survived. But when the sun rose, and I went back to look for them, there was nothing. No trace of them. The building was empty. The doors were locked, and no one had been inside, not for years. I don't know what happened that night, but I can still hear the whispers. I can still feel the cold. I never saw Noah or Emily again. Their bodies were never found. They just vanished. But I know what I felt. Something was waiting. And it wasn't done with me. To this day, I don't sleep much. I still hear the whispers sometimes, and sometimes in the silence, I can almost feel the building waiting for me.